Guys, we're about to dive into a mailbag where you guys are going to be asking questions, and I'm going to be providing answers from our subscribers of our live show. But if I missed your question or you just didn't get a chance to ask, feel free to hit me up on any of these 3 platforms. I made the username super easy for you. It's TraceGerard48 on all 3 platforms. So give me a follow on X, Instagram, or TikTok if you are on those platforms. I look forward to hearing from you. So first question coming in from Prestige Worldwide. Why? The first word in entertainment. All right. I really want the Saints to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be so cool? I mean, Brandon Aiyuk would be really, really fun to have in New Orleans. Here's the thing. He is a good football player. Every single year, he has improved. And every single year, he has made a name for himself. I would love to see a guy who had 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns in New Orleans. Now, I wouldn't go back and look at his production from the Super Bowl and be worried about it, to be honest. The Chiefs have a good defense. Not get it twisted. They have a very good defense. So I can see why Brandon Aiyuk may have had a down game. But I would love to see Brandon Aiyuk in a Saints uniform. My only question is, how doable is it? I don't know if the Saints can make it, or if the Saints will make it happen, but I would love to see them try. So you tell me, Saints fans, would you trade for Brandon Aiyuk? Just give me a T for trade, P for pass in the comments section. Can't wait to see what you guys got to say. Oscar coming in with a super chat. What do you think about the running back Dylan Laube and wide receiver Jalen Coker as rounds 5 and 7 prospects? All right. So I clearly don't know a ton about them if I can't even say their names right. I'm totally cool with a running back or wide receiver in the late rounds. To be honest, I don't know how big of a need running back is, but I'm also totally okay with bringing in a younger guy, letting him compete for a spot. Maybe try and beat out Eno Benjamin or one of these guys. I mean, it's nothing against Eno Benjamin, but if there's a younger rookie guy that wants to, sure, make him compete for the practice squad spot. Why not? As for wide receiver, I'm an advocate for draft a wide receiver every single year. You never know when you're going to need them, and you never know when you're going to find a diamond in the rough. So I'm okay with those picks. I need to do some research on them and do my due diligence on these guys. But Oscar, thank you for giving me 2 new draft prospects to look out for. Kalen, Mike Evans trade would be epic. Most underrated wide receiver in the game. I don't know if underrated is the right word, but consistent, definitely. Yeah, most underratedly consistent. Every single season, he has 1,000 yards. Literally every year. Fun fact, though, against Marshawn Lattimore, he has not had 1,000 yards. So that's pretty interesting. But, Mike Evans would be really cool. You don't have to trade for him because he's a free agent, so you wouldn't even have to trade any assets to the Bucs. But the other thing is, just out of pure spite, Mike Evans wouldn't come to the Saints. I just don't think that would happen. And honestly, even if there was a situation where the Saints could manage to get in Mike Evans, you telling me Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore in the same locker room will go well? I just don't think so. So I think it would be cool to bring him in. I just don't see a world where that happens, unfortunately. Big Ted, no. Pick 6 Knicks, I'm good. Absolutely not. If the Saints draft him, I am giving up on this franchise. I just do not draft Bo Nix. He's not good. I don't understand why. I don't get it. I literally put this on my TikTok. The Aaron from The Office, she's talking about Holly. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I just don't. That's me with Bo Nix. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people like him. I don't see why people are so high on him. The dude had to transfer and play with kids that were 4 years younger than him to be halfway good. I'm good. This isn't a anti-Bo Nix rant, but this is just no, don't even think about it. Please just don't do it. But what you should do is download the Game Time app because you can get $20 off your first purchase if you use our code SaintsChat. And in 2023, I made so many memories with my family, my friends, my girlfriend. But in 2024, it is your turn. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SaintsChat for $20 off your first purchase. If you want to go to a Pels game, if you want to go to a concert, if you want to go to Jazz Fest, you want to go to any live sporting event or entertainment event like a comedy show or a concert, Game Time is the app for you. So download the app, use promo code SaintsChat, you get $20 off. It's so user-friendly. You can see where your seats are in the app, and my favorite part about it is prices get lower as the event gets closer and even after the event starts. So if you're a last-second kind of guy that likes to procrastinate like me, Game Time has you covered. Download the Game Time app. Use code SAINTSCHAT for $20 off. Once again, download the Game Time app. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, let's kick it to Ronnie. I know I'm jumping the gun, but I'd love the Saints to draft Arch Manning in a few years. Thoughts? Okay, Ronnie, you might be living in my head. So I have this. Okay, let's just live in La La Land for a minute. Let's live in La La Land for 5 minutes here. Not really. Tinfoil hats on. Let's close our eyes. Let's picture a world where Derek Carr just isn't it, and he's bad, and the Saints have a really high draft pick, and Arch Manning's available. Archie Manning was also a Saints legend. So it's like, oh, that kind of makes some sense. He's from Louisiana. Like, here's the thing. Kind of okay with it. I wouldn't hate it. Like, if that's the route the Saints go, sure, I'll be miserable and I'll be unhappy for the next couple of years. But I want to see him play, like, real college snaps before I say I want my future on Arch Manning. That's just one thing I want to make clear. But I don't hate the idea. Ronnie, thank you for the question. From Ronnie to Richard, what do you think about drafting Penix? # Saints. I'm not against drafting Penix. My only thing is I don't think the Saints would, because if you hop in your time machine and remember last year, New Orleans actually traded up to be able to go and select Jake Haener, who was a Senior Bowl MVP last year. So I just don't know if the Saints are going to want to trade or want to go and draft Penix, just because they may not view quarterback as a big position in need. But here's my thing. If they did make that pick, I wouldn't hate it, because I like that you have somebody waiting in the rafters, waiting in the background, kind of chirping in your ear saying, I'm coming for you. You mess up, your job's mine. I don't hate that. I like Penix. I think he's a good football player. That being said, Michigan had their way with Penix. So I'm kind of like, see how, it's just, it's kind of tough. So I don't hate it, but I don't think the Saints would do it. All right, Ricky Bobby, first name, last name, as they call him, or two first names. Damn it, I butchered that. Are you worried about a Taysom Hill trade? Yeah. No. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'm not worried, but I wouldn't be surprised if some buzz picks up, because Denver really needs some help on the offensive side of the ball. Who was Taysom Hill's biggest fan? Who was his biggest crush? Who had Taysom Hill as their biggest crush? It was Sean Payton. So I could see a world where the Saints may, or the Broncos may want to try and trade Taysom Hill. Here's my thing. If Sean calls and says, we want Taysom, say we want a couple more second-round picks. Like, I'm not saying he's worth it, but I'm saying his production and his skill set is so unique, you can't just let that leave. So I would keep him around personally. I'm not worried about a trade, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos start having some buzz around a Taysom Hill trade. All right, so real quickly, no fake fans allowed. There are absolutely no fake fans allowed on my channel. I want to make that very clear. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, I fear you may be a fake fan. So if you want to prove to yourself and prove to me that you're a real Saints fan, lock us in, subscribe today, because we are for die-hard Saints fans only. Who Dat Nation, subscribe today. We're trying to get to 26,000 subs ASAP. Duff Nation, nice picture of Chris Laube, by the way. Are the Saints making the playoffs next season? I'm going to give you the cop-out answer if it's too early to tell. We haven't even gotten – free agency hasn't even opened up. We don't even know all of the position coaches for New Orleans' offense. We don't even know who the draft pick is going to be. We don't even know how under the cap they got. We don't even know what players stayed, what players left. There's just so many what ifs or I don't knows right now that I just cannot say that they will make the playoffs or they won't make the playoffs. But to be honest, I think they should. Derek Carr year 2, Chris Olave year 3, Sheed year 3, A.T. Perry year 2. Juwan Johnson continuing to develop. Like, that offense should be better. So I hope they make the playoffs. I just think it's too early to tell. Walter, should we move Penning to guard? I'm actually not opposed to this. I wouldn't hate trying out Penning at also right tackle to see if he could take over for Ryan Ramczyk, who has virtually no cartilage left in his knee. Those injury issues with Ramczyk are very serious and should not be taken lightly. But I also do think that you got to try and salvage what you can with Trevor Penning, because he clearly isn't going to be a starting left tackle in this league. Doug Marrone, no longer the offensive line coach. So let's see what the new offensive line coach can make happen with him. That's going to be a big project and a big test for the new coach. Big Ted, this is my favorite question of the day. Favorite question of the frickin' day. The Saints should draft Cam Little. For those of you who don't know, Cam Little is an Arkansas kicker, and he is a college football legend. Let me read you his numbers from 2023 this past year. So from 20 to 29, he was 7-7. From 30 to 39, he was 4 of 5. And from 49 to 49, 5 of 7, 50 plus, 4 of 5. And he had a long of 56. Was perfect on extra points his entire college career. He only missed 4 total 50-yard plus or 50-yard or more field goals out of a lot of attempts. He went 5 for 7, 4 for 5, 2 for 3, and 1 for 3. So Cam Little, he's a great kicker, has a boot, and he's really like a fun guy. He's young, he's very energetic, has a lot of swagger. Like, trust me, just go look up Cam Little on Twitter or on YouTube. Arkansas fans love him. I'm an Arkansas grad and an alumni for those of you who don't know, so I am very biased on this. But also, let's just call him what it is. He's a great kicker. He's a really good kicker. 93 points for a very bad Arkansas Razorbacks team this past year. It's not terrible, and he's been really good for 3 seasons with the Razorbacks. Rain! When it rains, it pours. $10 super chat. With Harbaugh gone, does Michigan win the Big Ten next year? I just don't know who else would win it. Like, Jack saying Ohio State, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, Michigan number 1. I mean, part of me is going to say this because somebody who is a big Michigan fan signs my checks. Part of me also truly does believe this. I think Michigan just has like a powerhouse rolling. I think they have just like nothing but just production and great football. They got dogs on dogs on dogs. And they have young dogs. They got old dogs. And they got kind of middle-aged dogs. Like, they're a good team. They're a good team. I think Michigan could win the Big Ten. As always, it'll come down to them or Ohio State. Hot take, give me Michigan to beat Ohio State again. Bosa, baby. As James Yoder would say. But as always, Saints fans, thank you for tuning in to our mailbag. Don't forget to subscribe so you guys can join our next live show on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central Time. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.